Well, there's hope that NASA could regain control of the lost Voyager 2 probe after a heartbeat signal was picked up. Contact with the spacecraft launched in 1977.
As NASA says, it has heard from the Voyager 2 spacecraft, which right now is in interstellar space, billions of kilometres away.
For nearly a half a century, two silent Voyagers have traveled across the solar system. The two Voyager probes have become...
What if I told you that humanity's most distant messenger just turned around and sent us a signal that confirms our darkest cosmic fears? Voyager 2, after decades of silence, has detected something at the edge of our solar system that shouldn't exist, something that's been watching us all along. Amazed, for 46 years, this tiny probe has been humanity's ambassador to the cosmos, traveling further from home than any human-made object. But what it just discovered will make you question everything we thought we knew about our place in the universe. Picture this, you're billions of miles from Earth, drifting through the cosmic void, when suddenly your instruments detect something impossible. A structured signal. Not random noise, not natural phenomenon, but something deliberately crafted, something intelligent. Amazed, the mathematics were undeniable, frequencies spaced like a perfect sequence, patterns that screamed of engineering rather than nature. It's like finding a symphony playing in complete silence. But here's where it gets truly terrifying. Dramatic. The signal contains something that made NASA scientists' blood run cold. The number pi, repeated in exact 3.142-second intervals. This wasn't coincidence. This was a universal mathematical constant, a language that transcends species. But wait, there's more. Voyager didn't just detect this signal, it started behaving strangely, as if something was manipulating it from the outside. Its attitude adjustment systems fired irregularly, not according to any programmed schedule. Imagine a cosmic game of telephone, except the message is coming from something that shouldn't exist in the empty void between stars. Voyager's plasma wave subsystem detected organized fluctuations that defied every known natural phenomenon. Dramatic. Amazed, chilling part, these weren't random cosmic bursts. They showed symmetry, repetition, and intervals that hinted at logic, maybe even intent. For the first time in human history, we might be looking at proof that we're not alone. Let's rewind to 1977, when two identical spacecraft were launched on what NASA called the grand tour of our outer planets. Voyager 1 and 2 were supposed to be simple planetary scouts, but they became so much more. These incredible machines visited Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, discovering moons, rings, and mysteries that rewrote our understanding of the solar system. But their greatest discovery was yet to come. After completing their planetary missions, both Voyagers continued outward, becoming humanity's first ambassadors to interstellar space. They carry golden records, literal messages in bottles, thrown into the cosmic ocean. Dramatic. In 2018, Voyager 2 crossed the heliopause, the boundary where our sun's influence ends and true interstellar space begins. It was like stepping through a cosmic doorway into the unknown. The heliopause wasn't the clean boundary scientists expected. Instead, Voyager found a turbulent, active region, like a cosmic stormfront where two universes collide. This discovery alone revolutionized our understanding of space. But here's where our story takes a terrifying turn. In March 2020, during routine antenna maintenance, NASA lost contact with Voyager 2. For 7 months, humanity's most distant explorer was completely silent. When contact was finally restored in October, something incredible happened. Voyager responded perfectly to commands, as if nothing had happened. But then it started transmitting something unexpected, data from systems that had been dormant for decades. Ancient instruments from the 1980s suddenly came alive, sending encoded signals with patterns, echo pulses, and recursive data. It was as if Voyager was somehow transmitting itself, creating a digital echo of its own existence. But the most mysterious part was yet to come. Leaked NASA documents contained a phrase that appeared over and over: unknown interaction detected. Scientists began questioning whether Voyager had encountered something capable of influencing our technology. The data suggested that space beyond our solar system isn't the empty void we imagined. Instead, it's filled with forces, fields, and pressures that behave like invisible currents and walls. Space itself might be structured, reactive, even aware. Just before going silent, Voyager sent a data packet containing strong, organized, periodic anomalies. Some scientists believe it passed through an artificially stabilized region or was affected by something's gravitational wake. Dramatic, a terrifying new possibility emerged. Could Voyager have been informationally altered by passing through an unknown field? The probe showed repeated logic loops and unexpected software behavior that hinted at intent, not malfunction. Today, Voyager 2 is tracked by a special team whose communications are encrypted. A leaked memo warned, "Do not respond unless instructed," implying the possibility of two-way contact. The implications are staggering. What if Voyager didn't discover aliens, but something far more ancient and fundamental? Perhaps it found a reactive layer of the universe itself, a cosmic nervous system that we accidentally triggered. Amazed, the final message may represent a trigger, a key, or a signal from a realm not meant to be reached by creatures like us. But here's the truly terrifying part. It's not that something is out there watching us. The fear is that something has been listening, watching, and evaluating us all along, and it has finally decided to respond. But what does that response mean for humanity's future? Let's dive deeper into the evidence. The Deep Space Network first noticed blips in the data stream, highly organized fluctuations in plasma density coupled with anomalous magnetic field activity. These patterns didn't fit any known natural phenomenon. Dramatic. When engineers applied Fourier transformations and deconvolution algorithms to the signal, what emerged shook even the most skeptical minds. A set of frequencies spaced like a mathematical sequence, engineered communication. Dramatic. Voyager's instruments registered electromagnetic phenomena across broad ranges, but it was the sudden spike in low-frequency bands that stood out. These frequencies are typically associated with planetary magnetospheres or artificial emissions. Then came the trajectory measurements, showing subtle nudges, gravitational anomalies that suggested something massive was distorting local space-time fabric. The supposedly empty void beyond our solar system was alive with invisible presence. Dramatic. Voyager's cosmic ray subsystem registered an unnatural flux in high-energy particles, and that flux appeared directional, not scattered like normal cosmic rays. The angle of arrival aligned with somewhere much closer than any known stellar source. This combination of electromagnetic structure, gravitational perturbations, and directed radiation led scientists to one chilling conclusion: something was approaching. And it wasn't random. It was deliberate surveillance, maybe even a message. Analysis of plasma wave data revealed oscillations that mimicked human linguistic cadence, not language as we know it, but temporal patterns and binary sequences. Nothing in nature behaves this way in deep vacuum. One pattern repeated over and over in pulses lasting exactly 3.142 seconds minus the number pi. A universal constant echoed across light years, a mathematical language beyond species. This couldn't be coincidental. Despite its limited capacity, Voyager became a kind of cosmic receiver, its instruments seemingly co-opted to translate these external pulses. For days, tracking stations observed signal reflection delays, as if bouncing off an unseen object. Dramatic. The Doppler shift indicated that whatever was there wasn't stationary, it was moving fast toward the center of our solar system. Calculations placed it within the Oort cloud, that spherical halo of icy debris surrounding us. Its speed defied known physics, maintaining consistent acceleration without any visible propulsion. Even the notion of mass became complicated, with gravitational lensing suggesting presence far exceeding its optical footprint. This implied either cloaking technology, non-Newtonian physics, or the ability to manipulate perception itself. At mission control, the implications hit with raw weight. This wasn't natural, it was deliberate design. Voyager hadn't been intercepted or destroyed. It had been engaged, selected for communication. That single fact shattered all assumptions about passive cosmic observation. This was a sentinel, and something had finally answered its call. What if the golden record, our hopeful message etched into Voyager's hull, had finally reached an audience? And what if that audience didn't share our curiosity or benevolence? What if they saw us as a problem to be assessed? Amazed astronomers correlated new data with historical observations. They found hints scattered across decades, subtle anomalies dismissed as background clutter. This thing had been lurking there for a long time, watching. But perhaps most disturbing wasn't what Voyager detected, but what it hadn't. The silence following the initial burst was deeper than the void itself. Instruments that had flared with readings went dark, as if cloaked again. Dramatic. It was as though the presence had shown us just enough. A glimpse, a demonstration of capability. If this was a probe, it possessed technologies that skirted dimensional manipulation. The implications were staggering. There was no indication of hostility, no weapons fired, no systems compromised. But fear grows not from what is seen, but from what is suspected. We were being scanned, measured, and judged by unknown criteria. What disturbed scientists wasn't just the event, but the logic of the response. When pi appeared in wave patterns, when golden ratio harmonics danced in magnetic resonance data, these were signatures, beacons. They were showing us they understood universal mathematics. Worse, they were showing us that they knew we would understand. Voyager had become the harbinger of awareness, proof that something waited beyond the veil. Amazed, for decades we had sent signals outward into the cosmos. For the first time, something had sent one back, not in words or images, but in precision and mathematics that transcended language barriers. Dramatic. Voyager's directional readings hinted at multiplicity. There were discrepancies that could only be explained by interference patterns from several sources, not one entity but a network, an observation grid. Voyager had entered it. Dramatic. If the Oort cloud marked our system's boundary, then these objects were positioned like sentries at a cosmic checkpoint. Humanity's first interstellar probe had wandered too far and touched something ancient. Voyager had become more than a spacecraft. It had become a mirror reflecting our ambitions and fears. In the vast expanse of darkness, it had turned its instruments one last time and returned with a whisper from the void. And that whisper was unmistakable. Something had completed its initial observation phase. Whatever it was had seen enough of humanity to make some kind of determination. But what was that determination? For teams monitoring Voyager, the quiet was worse than the detection. There's comfort in chaos, in processing new information, but now they had nothing but silence and a paralyzing question. What happens next? Amazed, the realization hit that humanity may have been under remote observation for longer than anyone suspected. Classified military satellites were redirected toward Voyager's last transmission coordinates, but found nothing visible. Dramatic yet gravitational mapping detected subtle irregularities, a distortion that moved not visibly but perceptibly through space-time itself. Something was there, just beyond our ability to see it directly. Retrospective analysis brought chilling clarity to old data. Buried in decades of cosmic observations were patterns too subtle to notice before miners organized disturbances that suggested artificial origin. What Voyager encountered wasn't a probe or vessel, but a kind of sentinel, an artifact designed not to travel, but to remain still and watch. If such sentinels were real, we lived inside a monitored zone. Amazed, the concept wasn't new. It had existed in science fiction as the zoo hypothesis, the idea that advanced civilizations maintain quarantine zones around developing species. But now it might be real. What frightened scientists more than being watched was the realization that we'd never received a direct response, just mathematics and then absence. It felt like a test, a survey, perhaps even a judgment. Some theorized what Voyager encountered wasn't entirely in our dimension, an interface between realities, or a device designed to manipulate them. Suddenly, exotic matter and space-time curvature became urgent research priorities. Defense satellites were repositioned, submarine arrays detected ultra-low frequencies, and signals were found emerging from deep within Earth's magnetosphere. The implication was impossible yet clear. Signals were being received here. Amazed, the difference between suspecting an anomaly in distant space and finding one nearby shattered our sense of security. If intelligence had positioned itself within our solar system, its patience and reach were unfathomable. Scientists reevaluated centuries of astronomical records, looking for patterns hidden in plain sight. What they found were magnetic disturbances and gravitational anomalies that had been dismissed as instrument error. Across Earth, high-level briefings unfolded in shadows. Governments no longer debated whether intelligence existed out there, but whether it considered us significant, dangerous, or merely entertaining. Amazed, the lack of destructive response didn't calm nerves. It heightened them because it suggested confidence. They didn't need to threaten us because they were already beyond our reach. Philosophy split between opportunity and threat. Some believed Voyager had revealed our greatest chance to transcend isolation and join galactic dialogue. Others feared it had exposed us as prey in a cosmic ecosystem we didn't understand. New probes were designed in silence. The encounter had stretched backwards into history and forward into consequence, changing the vector of human destiny, not with violence, but with knowledge. The question wasn't whether we'd be contacted again, it was what they saw when they looked at us. Our galaxy might be seeded with watchers, and we never knew where to look. This reevaluation extended to every aspect of space exploration. What else had we missed by assuming emptiness? The universe was far more populated than we imagined. Earth's rapid transition from analog to digital could have shifted our electromagnetic signature enough to attract attention. That change, subtle on planetary scale, rippled outward like a beacon finally loud enough to trigger observational systems. Massive AI systems analyzed decades of archived space data, searching for other missed interactions. Patterns emerged. Uncanny consistencies in deep space static, periodic surges at symmetrical intervals. We'd been seeing evidence all along. Similar anomalies were found in data from Saturn, Pluto, and beyond, as if a subtle layer of active phenomena had always existed around us, just below interpretation limits. We were swimming in a cosmic soup of intelligence. Dramatic behavioral ecologists entered the discussion with expertise in interpreting behavior without speech. Their hypothesis was chilling. The silence wasn't indifference, it was prelude to the next phase. The watchers had concluded their observation. Coordinated sky surveys began focusing on regions previously deemed too barren for study. The goal wasn't to locate spacecraft with traditional methods, but to search for ripples in reality itself, disturbances in the cosmic background. Dramatic, then came confirmation, small but unmistakable, a gravitational blip near Jupiter, timed suspiciously with Voyager's last signal, followed by similar readings on Mars. The watchers weren't idle, they were present throughout our system. What started as humanity's greatest journey of discovery has become our most profound moment of realization. We are not alone, we are not unobserved, and we are not unnoticed. The question is, what comes next in this cosmic relationship? The universe has revealed itself to be a far stranger, more populated, and more actively engaged place than we ever imagined. Voyager 2's journey from explorer to cosmic messenger marks a turning point in human history. We've crossed a threshold we can never uncross. Amazed. So what do you think? Are we ready for whatever comes next in this cosmic conversation? Have we just witnessed humanity's first confirmed contact with something beyond our understanding? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If this incredible journey through cosmic mystery has blown your mind as much as it has ours, smash that like button. And don't forget to subscribe for more mind-bending space discoveries that challenge everything we thought we knew about our place in the universe.